Hi everybody, it's Heidi here from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com, and this is today's contribution to the Pootles blog hop. And now this is a Christmas bauble box. I hope you can see it there. Just trying to focus here. Okay, so as you can see, it's using some vellum paper, and what you can do, you can use it just as an ornament, or you can actually open it up and put little gifts in there. As you can see, quite a lot of space in there. And I'm going to do it in this smaller size here, although I have made it in a bigger one here, and I'll put the dimensions for that on my blog as well. And with this one, I've filled it with a whole bag of minstrels, so that's to kind of give you an idea of how much space it takes. So that's what we're going to be making. And I'm going to be using some of the products from the new autumn and winter catalogue. So to start off with, you're going to need your scoreboard and a piece of vellum, and you can get 2 of these from an A4 sheet, and this is 5 inches by 8 1/4 inches. In fact, we're not going to start off with the scoreboard at all. I'm actually going to stamp it first, and what I'm going to be using is the Stays On Opaque ink, and the stamp set is the little snowflakes, which come from the A Little Something, which comes in the bundle. And it's actually quite nice because you've got sort of Christmas and autumn, and for those of you who celebrate Halloween, Halloween too. That's my husband's computer in the background, apologies. And you'll see there's a little snowflake set here. And so all I'm going to do is use the Stays On Opaque, and I'm literally going to just stamp all over with the snowflakes. Okay, it's quite sticky. I've inked it up just before I started. Doesn't matter if you go over slightly, because once it's made up into the box, it just gives a nice overall background. You could do other things with this as well. I'm going to try it if I get a chance, and do some silver embossing as well. I think that would look rather pretty on here, and perhaps make it stand out a little bit more as well. But I rather like the subtle effect of the white Stays On. I think it will then match in with pretty much any decoration that you might be doing. Okay, so having stamped all over, now you're going to get your scoreboard out, and the scoring is very, very easy on this. It is literally on the long edge every inch, and the same on the short edge. So with the vellum, just be careful not to press too hard, because you could tear through it. It's nice strong vellum, but you just have I was a bit firm on a couple of my samples, so just a word of sort of caution. Okay, and then turn, and then okay. So again, every inch. So that's all the scoring we're going to do on the board. But what we're going to actually do is do some scoring to make those folds. So I'm going to put it on my Stampin' Pierce mat actually here, and what you're actually going to do is make some marks just in the middle point. I've done it on this one quite sort of freehand. You can be precise and measure it if you want to. I find it doesn't really, you can if you want, but don't feel you need to. It's fairly easy to find the middle point. They're 1 inch squares, and it's on the alternate squares that you're doing it. Okay, so you do that, and you do it on the same ones on the opposite side. So again, just take your ruler and these are obviously going to be where the box is going to fold in to make that bauble shape. and by doing it on your Stampin pierce mat, you just get a nice nice embossed line. Okay, so having done that, we're now going to do a bit of trimming. And each of this is why I've done the scoring first. Each of the squares where you've got the triangle, you're going to trim out that top square. So each of those on top and bottom. And I found I did lots of different ways when I was trying these out, but I found this was the way where I made least mistakes. And again, I'm going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. I hope you realise, I'm not sure if I was on camera there. There you go. Same on the opposite side. So each of those squares out. So, by the end, you should have a piece that looks like that. Now, one of these is going to be top, one of these is going to be your bottom. And once you've decided which one, on the top one that's going to be the top, you need to make the holes for the ribbon to go through. And what I've done is just taken a 1-inch square, folded it in quarters and punched using the hole punch in the top. And I'm just going to mark the centre point on each of those. So you only have to do it at the top. So once you've marked that, just take your handheld punch, line it up and punch out a hole. And that's so you can thread your ribbon and hang it. If you didn't want to hang it up, then it's quite easy. You know, you can just seal it up. There we go. Okay, so there's your piece. Holes on the one, not on the other. Then what we're going to do now is crease all of these. Now, this is where you just need to be a little bit careful with the vellum. I'm not using a bone folder. I'm just using it with my fingers because it holds its shape very well. And I find if I'm using the bone folder on this, I sometimes press a little bit hard and get lines where I don't want them. So it's just a gentle folding on those scored lines. Okay, and once you've done it in one direction, then do it along the length. This way you can see, as you say, it's because it's very firm. You just need to ease it gently. And again on the other side, just ease it gently. And then the last bit is obviously going to be those triangles. And now those are going to fold in the opposite direction. And what I found was easiest is if you lay it out and just bring those corners in. So lay it out flat and just bend those up. That's going to help them hold their shape when you're making the bauble. And I found when I was bringing it together before, I was thinking this isn't going to work, but it did. So just again, just crease those gently with your fingers. Okay. Once you've done all of those, this is where I'm going to use just some red tape. I just find it on a box like this, it really helps. And you've got this just narrow little 1/4 inch fold, which is just the right width for my red tape. You can get a narrower width, but it will just take this one. So press that down, peel the top off, and just fold over So now you've got your basic box and you're thinking it's never going to come together. Again, another little bit of red tape. You need 2 pieces for the bottom. So and you need to work out which is going to where your back is. So the back is where the seam is. So that means the last flap that's going to go over is this one here. So I'm going to put a piece on there, and then I'm going to put a piece on the side one. So just a small piece of tape, just bring it over, and because they're squares, very easy to line up, just literally put it together on the edge there. Okay, then you just need to get your fingers inside the box slightly, just to ease those corners, and if you press, you should be able to hopefully see there, the shape comes together. So peel off the red tape, just hold it in place, and there you'll see the bottom of your bauble. Repeat at the top in terms of the folds, but instead of sticking it, this is where our holes go in. I'm using this lovely silver 1/8 of an inch silver ribbon. So just take a length, that's about 12 inches thereabouts, and all I'm going to do is just tie an ordinary overhand knot in the bottom there, just like so. And to reinforce it, what I suggest is that you just get a piece of scrap card of some sort, or a piece of your vellum. Just line it up and just punch yourself out a circle, and that's using the 3/4 inch circle punch. And just punch, it doesn't matter if it's dead in the centre or not with this, just punch a hole in it. Okay, so you've got a circle with a hole, and then I'm going to use my embossing tool just to the narrow end, just poke it through there. And what that does, it just gives you a little bit of support for the inside of your bauble, particularly if you're going to use it to put anything that's heavy in it, any stuff, heavy chocolates or other things. Okay, so sides first again. So again, just using the end of your embossing tool, poke it through. You see there? Just fold over and through. Okay. So then just ease those on top of each other. And because you've punched them in the centre, you'll see it's already starting to make the shape. And then just push the 2 sides in. Put your back one over first. There's your seam. Obviously at this point you'd put your chocolates in if you were going to, or your treat, and then last one. And there is your bauble. Okay, so looks quite pretty, quite attractive. You could leave it like that. But what I've actually done now is I'm going to take some of the scrap bit of vellum that I've got, and then I'm using the lovely Flurry of Wishes beautiful snowflake stamp, ever so useful. And this stamp here, there are 2 stamps, and they actually coordinate with a matching punch. And this one here, the larger one, matches with the flower medallion. So again, all I'm going to do is take my Stays On ink, ink up, there you go, that one's better. And then once you've done that, you take this matching punch, and so easy, all you do is line it up underneath where you've stamped, and there you go, you have 2 beautiful snowflakes already cut out. It's going to make Christmas card decorations so much easier because it just punches them out beautifully. And then just take a glue dot and pop it in the centre. Make sure I've got the stamped bit on the, so pop that on top of each other. Give it a lovely layered stamp. Another one on the back. Take your box, and there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. You could go on to put the snowflakes all over if you wanted to. As I said, I'm going to try it with some silver embossing. You can see here I've embossed it and put just a lovely rhinestone in the middle there. So again, using these beautiful basic rhinestones, whichever size you want, and those just a little bit in the centre, just bring it to life. And there you go. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the blog hop. Bye bye for now.